Welcome to Turf Talk with Matt
and Casey.
And today we're here to talk about round 6, which is our winterizer treatment. Right, Casey?
Correct.
So one thing that you'll notice is we do 6 treatments that you've already gotten this year. Well, you've gotten 5 of them. This will be the 6th one. And each treatment is specifically designed for that time of the year. So in the springtime, we put down a treatment that targets crabgrass a lot. This treatment is totally different. So each treatment is built upon that time of the season based on what your property needs. And right now, your property needs something different. The weather's changed, the plant is in a different state. Just like you as your human body, like you have metabolism and how you metabolize the nutrition and stuff like that, plants go through the same thing. So in round 1 to round 2, 3, 4, and 5, those plants are in different stages of metabolism throughout the year, so we have to feed them differently.
Correct.
And to get a really good program, you have to address each stage systematically to have a really good lawn. So every now and then we get questions about, hey, can you just do round 1 and 2? That's when the weeds are here. Well, yes, we could, but we choose not to because we want to have a better overall product. If we only treated the weeds that were there, it's just putting a Band-Aid that you're always going to have to address. So round 6, I'm gonna have Casey talk about it a little bit more, but round 6 specifically is our winterizer treatment. So talk to us a little bit about what the winterizer actually is. What are we trying to achieve in round 6?
Sure. So let me back up a little bit and we'll kind of start at the beginning. Through the year, you know, you're going to have weeds, you're going to have issues that take up space in the lawn and they crowd out the grass. You're going to have elements like the weather that are going to affect the health of the grass, that are going to cause some thinning and some dying. You know, summers here in Indiana are rough. We get very hot, very dry at times, and that causes a lot of stress on the grass. Well, during the fall, that's when the grass is trying to build its root system, it's trying to store nutrients, and it's also trying to repair from that summer stress. It can't do both at the same time. So what it ends up doing is kind of putting half its effort here, half its effort there, and you don't really get a full repair, you don't really get a full root zone development. With the round 6, what we're doing is we're putting down an all mineral fertilizer. It's strictly fertilizer, it's very high nitrogen, has a lot of nutrients in it. And what it does is it allows the grass to store any nutrients that it hasn't already picked up during the fall when it was concentrating on repair. During this time of year, the grass has slowed its top growth down. It's probably not growing much at all, if any. The root zones have kind of repaired themselves. They're developing and they're preparing to store nutrients. That grass is still going to feed all winter long. Anytime the soil heats up due to the sunshine or the air temperature gets up above freezing, the soil's going to thaw out. The roots are going to start absorbing nutrients. We want those nutrients there. So we put down the round 6 fertilizer, the winterizer, to make sure that grass has plenty of nutrients, plenty of food that it can absorb through the winter, so that when it comes out in the spring, it has all of those nutrients already stored and ready. All that food is there just sitting as a surplus. And what you're going to see is when your lawn wakes up in the spring, it's going to wake up about 2 weeks earlier than the neighbor's lawn who didn't get that winterizer. And it's going to be much healthier through the spring. And systematically, year after year, if you're adding this winterizer, you're doing all the other treatments throughout the year, you're going to notice that the lawn is going to become much thicker. It's going to become much healthier. It does take time. It is a process. But your lawn is just going to improve so much. And the best weed control, Matt, is not weed control. It's a thick, healthy lawn. So if we're getting those nutrients in there, the lawn is able to come out much healthier in the spring. It's able to concentrate more on spreading like it should in the spring instead of repairing itself from the winter or the fall. It just gives it that head start. And that's what this is all about.
So if we put this winterizer out, the grass is going to take up these nutrients throughout the whole winter time.
Correct.
It's a slow release nitrogen product, right?
That's correct.
And so then the lawn is going to bounce back about 2 weeks prior to the rest of the neighborhood. So their grass is already going to be green. So would it be safe to say that round one, when we put down the prodiamine, that is our crabgrass preventer, it is going to be more effective because the grass is going to wake up even earlier and is going to have time to, get the prodiamine down and store it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. The other thing that you said that we get questions about this all the time, and us as turf guys, we use lingo. It makes sense to us, and it doesn't always come across to the homeowners that aren't in our shoes, and they're not on grass every day. So he said the best weed control is not weed control at all. It is a thick, healthy lawn.
Correct.
So if we bring this back to a little bit more of layman's terms, just imagine how your body reacts to a sickness or anything of that nature. So if I get a cut on my hand, I have to put a Band-Aid on it. Weed control is essentially a Band-Aid that you're putting on the ground to try and help prevent weeds, as opposed to addressing the root cause, which if I have a cut on my hand, the root cause of that would be stop playing with knives, right? If I wasn't playing with knives, I wouldn't have a cut on my hand, I wouldn't have to put a Band-Aid on top to fix my problem that I caused. So if you have a thick, healthy lawn, that is the root cause of not having to put out weed control. So if we can address the root cause, get a thick lawn, then there's no room for those weeds to actually grow. We don't have to put as much chemical on your property, which makes the planet a healthier place. If we get more grass growing, we don't have to put as much weed control on your property. That's a plus for everybody included. Now we do know that having a nice thick lawn of good grass, no weeds, makes us happy as homeowners. We're more proud of our property. We want to have our kids out playing. We want the neighbors to come to our house. There's a lot of things when you're having a bad day at work and you come home and you see your house and it's somewhere that you're proud to own. One thing I like to tell people is a really nice lawn, that's like the smile of your house. First thing you see. If you look at somebody, you can just tell that they're having a bad day. That's a weed-filled lawn,
Matt, one of my favorite things to do when I get home, if I've had a bad day or a stressful day, is I take my shoes off and I just walk out on the lawn. And the feel of that fresh green grass between my toes, it eases my stress, it relaxes me, it puts me in a place where I'm mentally able to deal with the day and process things. And I don't know what it is about that feel. It just feels like home to me.
Yeah. But that never happens at Green's Lawncare, right?
Well.
But, okay, so we were talking before. I asked you to rank all of our 6 steps. Round 1, round 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I asked you what the most important round is. And I would like you to answer that question now that you've had a little bit of time to process it.
In my opinion, and based on the science, round 6 is the most important round that we can put down. Because it helps with so much repair and so much thickening, it helps eliminate the need for weed control later on. Now, we're always going to have to put down a little bit of weed control. That's just the nature of things. But it's going to eliminate a lot of that need for weed control. It's also going to help eliminate some of the need for crabgrass pre-emergent. We're always going to have to put that down. But if we have a nice thick lawn, there's so much less opportunity for breakthrough. With COVID going on, we hear about breakthrough all the time. And a thick, healthy lawn is like having that inoculation. It's like having a natural immunity or an inoculation against those weeds and those issues. If we have that inoculation, we have that thick, healthy lawn that's there as the protection, the weeds have less opportunity to pop through, the crabgrass has less opportunity to pop through, the grass is much healthier, it's more resistant to disease, it holds up to stress better, so that when we do hit those 90-degree days in summer and the sun's beating down on it and it's dry, the grass has the ability to bounce back much more readily.
Gotcha. So round 6 is the most important. Now, what if somebody's been with us for 2 years and they have, they've been through 2 sets of full programs, they've aerated both seasons, and they have a really nice thick lawn. if they stop at that point, now that they have achieved the lawn that they want, can they stop one and continue with that lawn? Or if they stop a fertilizer program, will it start to revert back and some of the grass starts dying from the summer months and it can't repair itself well, so then weeds creep in? Which option can they just stop and it's going to be perfect the rest of their life, or do they need to continue on a maintenance plan to keep it how it is?
Under ideal conditions, with perfect maintenance, maybe they could stop. I don't see that being a true possibility, because what's going to happen, as the grass ages, some of it's going to die off. That's going to create thin areas. Just like our body ages, with stress, our body breaks down. The grass is going to do the same thing. Even under perfect conditions, we live our lives very healthily. We eat the right things. We take our vitamins. We work out. We still, as we age, our bodies just wear out naturally. The grass does the same thing. So you're going to end up.
So it's important to always have a maintenance plan.
It is important to always have a maintenance plan. You don't want to work out, take your vitamins, and do everything to be healthy, and then stop and sit on the couch and eat potato chips.
Yeah.
Your body's just going to go to waste. Same thing with your lawn. You don't want to work it out, give it all the vitamins, and then just neglect it, because it's within a season, it's going to revert back.
So, so we've kind of covered the importance of round 6, that it's the most beneficial step, what they're getting in round 6. Talk to us a little bit about the changes in the weather.
Sure.
We were at round 5. We were kind of getting right past the aeration window.
Yep.
But the weather now outside and through round 6 is going to be vastly different than any of the other rounds. Can you kind of talk about that?
Sure. So we all know in Indiana the weather can change at any time. Our winters are very unpredictable. One thing that is predictable, we're going to see lots of frost. We're going to see lots of cold weather. We might see some 70-degree days. I can remember just a few years ago mowing grass in December, because we had like a 2-week stretch of warm weather, and it just sprung back up. I'm kind of an oddity in my neighborhood, so I was the guy out there in December pushing the lawnmower. But weather-wise, again, we're going to see that frost, we're going to see snow, we're going to see cold weather. All that's going to affect the grass in a way that causes the grass to almost go dormant, or maybe it will go dormant if we see some heavy snowfall for a while. And it's going to basically slow down that metabolism to the point where it's just a trickle feed. Mm-hmm. Having those nutrients there that the grass can trickle feed on and feed through the winter, probably the most important thing that you can do for your lawn. Absolutely.
Gotcha. And the temperatures have drastically dropped.
Right. From
round 5 through.
Yeah, now we're seeing frost every morning.
Because we have to think not just like right now when we're putting this product down, but we have to think of from now until we put round 1 back down in like March at some point.
Yeah.
So we have December, January, February to get through. That's why we have to think about how we're going to put this application down, mm-hmm. and the importance of it.
Absolutely.
So one other thing that we want to mention, if you guys ordered sidewalk salt for the winters to prevent ice, we will be delivering that also in round 6.
Yeah.
So if you ordered that, you're going to get that delivery in round 6. It'll be put at your front doorstep. If you haven't ordered it and you do want it, it's a minimum of 2 bags. It's $25 a bag, so it's a $50 minimum for us to deliver it to you, and we can deliver it straight to your front porch. So if you want that, call into the office. We can get that added to your invoice, and we can get that delivered to you.
That's the great thing about that salt delivery, Matt, is it's delivered right to your front porch, or we'll carry it right into the garage for you. And when we do see snow, you don't have to rush out to Walmart or wherever the salt is that you shop for. It's right there waiting for you. Just walk out.
We have plenty of pallets.
We have plenty of pallets, all brand new bags of salt. It's high quality salt. I've used it in my own home. Works great.
Yeah, and this is it's a sidewalk specific salt. It's calcium chloride, so it's not rock salt.
Right.
Rock salt you don't want to put on concrete because it's corrosive.
Yeah.
Calcium chloride, it's also got magnesium chloride also on it. So it is safe for the sidewalk, and it helps melt anything down to 5 below. So as long as the temperature is not below 5 degrees, or like -5 degrees, if it's not -6 or below, then this salt will work. And that's what we use on all of our commercial properties. So you're getting the same quality as really high-end product.
Yeah.
So that's it for round 6. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below, and we will make sure to get those answered for you. But for now,
See you on the lawn.